Alrighty then, it's Richmond Gooners podcast. I bet you thought we were dead. We're not dead. It's Sunday, November 6th.
Was dead.
I thought you was dead, bruv. Match day 13.
I thought you was dead.
Gus's Bar and Grill, as always. I am Ryan here with Tom.
Hey now.
And with Joey.
City boy.
And with Will.
Yo.
And yeah, it's been a minute since we've been here. Just for the record, I was out with a lower body injury, as they say in the NHL. But I am up and about and mobile again, so we're going to start talking at you again.
I feel like you should clarify, because I know what the first thing I thought was.
I broke my dick. What do you think of the first thing was? That is not what happened.
You'd have to have a dick to break one? I'm just kidding.
No.
We've been away for a while.
My ankle swelled up the size
rare form.
Yeah, my ankle swelled up the size of a grapefruit, so that was fun.
It was gross.
Not to be confused with the grapefruit technique. That
no.
Oh, yeah.
That noise. It's seared into my brain.
If you ever
now.
imagine what the sound of a velociraptor sucking dick feels like, just search YouTube.
Grapefruit,
your
your
man.
man. Yeah, that's all you need. And honestly,
that is our gift to you.
If you stop listening right now and watch the grapefruit video, I would support it, because I take every opportunity to show that to people.
It's a lateral move. It might be an improvement, to be honest with you.
It's over more quickly. But anyway, so we started the day in second, just 1 point behind City, thanks to whoever in the upper deck sniped KDB and took his legs out.
What the fuck was that
at the end
garbage?
of that game yesterday? But
top 4 teams, man.
That was a fucking Greg Louganis dive right there. It was full of AIDS.
Wow.
That was
Elon Musk will protect that. Elon Musk will protect
that
poor. Yeah.
So that's where we've gone in minute 3 of the podcast. Anyway, so we come into this one. I mean, I feel like we were slightly over the run of bad form that we were in for a couple of weeks, and kind of picked up a little bit momentum coming into it. Yeah. And you look at the lineup, and it's pretty much the same, except Zinchenko in at left back.
Zinchenko was back.
Opening day roster.
We had, I think, so we haven't done a pod since we
September.
We beat Spurs. We beat Liverpool. We've played, of the quote unquote big 6. We've played. The other 5 of them, we played 4 of them. We were supposed to have played City, but then Lizzie had to go and kick the bucket. So we played everybody.
He's going after the queen.
Everybody, but hey, listen, I got a lot of shit to say today. I'm going to try not to rant you guys, but all those games we didn't pod, so we haven't had a chance to talk about this. But how long? It's match week 13. It's essentially the end of match week 13. It's not the end yet, but Arsenal will be top at the end of this match week, as we have been every single one of those 13 or 14 match weeks, or how long it's been. How many match weeks do we have to end the match week at the top of the table for people to understand? Will showed me a tweet earlier that somebody was pointing out that the last ESPN FC podcast, the most recent one, was titled "Are Arsenal Legitimate Title Contenders?" or something like that. It's the most disrespectful. It's the most disrespect bestowed upon to a team at the top of the table this far into the season. We are officially more than a third of the way through the season. Yep. We have 38 games. We've been through 14 match weeks. Of course, we've only played 13 games because the City game got postponed. But how many weeks do we have to stay at the top table for people to really? Not saying that we're going to win the league, but for the people to realize we're at least going to challenge.
Well, the other thing too is this amount of games into the season, I think we tied the 4th best start to a Premier League season ever.
It's our best ever. And it's our best ever.
And it's our best ever. Right. And yet here they are still, people going out and saying,
it's City's to lose. It's City's to lose.
Well, if we keep going to this pace, we're going to get 90 points this season. We're going to get above 90 points this season. We're going to get close to Centurions, goddamn.
And that's the thing that about the thing with City yesterday is, can you imagine if that was, say it was Saka who went down like his legs had been cut off by a fucking samurai.
Yeah.
Every pundit from here to eternity would be talking about how Arsenal got lucky and we got bailed out by this call and blah, 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 blah. You didn't hear any of that yesterday.
None of the pundits are talking about that. I mean, if you can, maybe for the video, for those of you watching video, maybe I'll try to find a video of it and superimpose it onto the screen. It was just the diviest dive of and De Bruyne, you usually don't see that a lot from De Bruyne because he's so full of pace and power,
but
and he could just kind of go. But he knew where he was, and he knew where
he knew they weren't going to get one otherwise.
He knew the situation in the game that they were in, and it just that was bad. Yeah, that was bad. And now they got a raw deal a couple times. They had a couple bad calls go against them in the game, which I'll admit, because the standard of English refereeing has long since decreased since the days of Howard
But those
Webb,
couple bad calls didn't
didn't affect
They
the
were not
game
gonna
like
the result
of the game.
Exactly.
Well, luckily,
That was a
Michael
direct
Oliver.
result, and
I felt
Fulham
Michael
didn't
Oliver did a
deserve
good
that.
job today.
He really did. You know,
He did all right. He did all right.
He
Or maybe he just did average, and I'm so used to him doing terribly
Right.
that a bang
Well-
average performance from him looks like a.
I'll say his
top,
foul
you know.
call decisions was consistent.
That's what I was. Yeah.
His decisions on who to give yellow cards to was not.
Yeah.
right because Ben White got one towards the end.
For a delay
Yeah,
when he was
delay.
literally waiting for people to move.
Yeah.
Like no one was moving, so he had no one to kick to. And he's trying to wave them forward like, let's go.
Zaha just scored.
But no, you're right,
Cool.
Tom. I mean, like in the first few minutes, Cucurella was involved in almost all of these.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like he shoved Saka, someone else shoves him back, and he's calling it even.
It was Saka. Saka got up and was trying to get the ball off.
and you would really think that Saka should know enough that the guy that does the second move is the one
Gets
that always
caught.
gets
Yeah.
caught. Yes, because Barcelona perfected that.
I think he was
and-
frustrated at that point, and
Yeah.
I can't really blame him because he has gotten no. I hate using the word protection because that implies special treatment. He's just not like people are kicking the shit out of him, and they're just
Yeah.
not calling.
That
it.
is
It's
the-
a-
that
that
is
is
the
a
defensive
fact.
strategy.
That is a fact.
Cucurella didn't get a yellow today.
Which
He
is
didn't?
that is
That-
mind
that's
blowing.
wild.
Wow,
That's
between
wild.
the handball and all the other.
That's
and,
wild.
and to start the second half,
Yeah.
deliberately push Saka in the
Yeah.
back.
Again.
Deliberately.
Yeah, and
Like-
yeah, you're right, Will. Like it's weird how like a ref can at the same time have a very consistently called game and a very inconsistently called game.
Right.
But
I will
think
say
that's
I
the best
agree
way
with
to
Will.
put it.
I agree with Will that for the most part the consistency of the actual just fouls he gave, and that's really all I can ask for the most part. So I was at times pleased, and for the most part pleased, but his bookings I think is where you can really ask questions of him. If you agree with
Yeah,
that, Will is our resident referee.
His best
here, so.
his best decision was to not give a yellow card to either Chelsea or Xhaka.
Yeah, with the Frankish
near
at
the
the
end
end.
of the game there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
called it right. He just wanted to fucking get out of the rain and go home.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
It'll take me longer to write this down if you guys
Yeah,
just shut the
exactly.
fuck up.
right.
You know, but yeah, I mean, so like that given how a Michael Oliver game can go, that actually worked out okay.
Yeah. Also, speaking of, not this is a City podcast, but speaking of yesterday, when I don't know if we got Richard Keys, I think is the commissioner of the Celebration Police.
Yeah, yes.
And I would really like to see him keep the same energy given the way that City celebrated that last second win
Yep.
over Fulham yesterday.
Yeah.
Because we celebrated
Yeah.
after we beat a Fulham side that's actually quite difficult to break down
Yep.
a lot of the time.
Yep.
And you would have thought we were neo-Nazis the way he condemned us for celebrating.
Yeah.
So I would just like to see Richard Keys
Yep.
and the Celebration Police Department, the CPD. I would like to see them keep the same fucking energy.
There is a Twitter
towards
account.
Matt said,
Because-
Celebration Police.
Because
and
if you type that word, if you post that word, they come in like
they
the
come,
place
yeah,
that-
they come in. And here's the thing: they post. Oftentimes, they post onto Richard Keys' tweets, and they're like, good, way to go, boss. We're right behind you, boss.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That
It's
is
so
funny.
funny.
Well, and to your point about Fulham, I mean, I think when the last time they came up,
They're eighth in the table right now.
And the last time they came up, we're like, shit, they're going right back down.
Oh,
But now
yeah.
that's not the case.
No,
and
they're
like
staying.
City,
They're staying for a while.
Yeah, City struggling against them is not just a case of City had a shit day. Like Fulham are not just walkovers.
They're eighth, and they've
Right.
got. And let me tell you something, Mitrovic, because he did already had a spell in the Premier League with Newcastle. I want to say where he didn't light the world on fire, but. When you score, he scored last season. He scored 40-something goals in the championship.
A lot of goals,
when you
yeah.
score that many goals, there's something there. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
oh
for
he
sure.
won't come into the Premier League and score. You're doing something right.
And if he stays at Fulham, I'd be shocked.
I
he's
can
not
see
He
doing
it.
loves it there, though. He does love
He
it
does
there.
like it
Well,
there.
they
But
all
I tell you,
say
I tell you-
that. Then
Yeah.
City shows
Yeah,
up.
Jack
City
Grealish
shows
was
up.
a Birmingham boy,
Yeah.
born and bred. And guess what?
Yeah.
When City showed up with the fucking Brinks truck, he was
Yeah,
gone.
he backed the Brinks truck up his door. You know where I could see him is fucking Chelsea. Because sad face Auba was on the bench today after he got yanked at 60 minutes or so, 65
After, like,
minutes or
7
so.
touches.
If only there
He
were
got
a
yanked.
sound
Did he
effect to
even
react
make
to
5
Auba.
touches? Yeah.
God, I always forget to turn the fucking fader up. It's too
Oh,
late. Times
man.
whatever.
Oh,
Nah,
man.
do it. If only there were a sound
Get
effect for Aubameyang.
Yeah.
There it is. One day I will learn to
Couple that
work
with
this
it.
equipment, even though
Yeah.
it's mine.
Fader
Couple
first.
that
Fader
with
first.
the Price is Right.
Why
fail
would-
horn. Bum, bum,
Why
bum,
would he
bum.
not wear a long sleeve shirt if I'm
To-
him,
to
I
cover
wear a
that
long
Arsenal
shirt
tattoo.
to cover that
Pl-
tattoo.
at least playing against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now, but the way most teams do it, or any of the, or I guess you can wear a long sleeve shirt underneath your shirt, because the way most teams do it is that the captain, whoever's the captain on the day, decides if the whole team is wearing long sleeves or the whole team
Yeah, but
is
you
wearing
can
short
wear
sleeves.
you can wear whatever underwear
You can wear an
Yeah.
Under Armour or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Or he could wear one of those like James
The
Hetfield
sleeve.
1990s.
Yeah.
Did y'all see what I sent y'all in WhatsApp?
Yeah, the picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
the picture.
God.
Gabriel,
Nothing
I didn't
personal,
even
though.
see this live. Gabriel,
neither.
after he scored his goal, ran to Auba and was basically just like laughing at him.
Yeah.
And as
Up
he
in
started,
his face.
yeah.
Fuck
That's
him.
why Gabriel is my dog.
But anyway, let's swing this back to kind of the Arsenal side of things. Tom, your boy, Tierney.
Yeah. I was upset because I don't know what else Tierney needs to do to solidify his spot as a starter. And this is probably the recurring argument for me in the last month is why I think he's our best left back. But unfortunately, Arteta likes to copy Guardiola. Guardiola likes his back to be with his midfielder and to play narrowly. Tierney, what like Jonah Hill said in Superbad, like, fuck me, right? Like, all I want to do is get down the byline and lump it into the box right into somebody's head. Fuck me, right? Because he can do that as good as anybody, as well as Andy Robertson or the other one. That
I
doesn't
agree
like
with
to
that.
defend. But, because, I mean, honestly, like, for all those that say, whatever, Zinchenko, shiny new toy, but when Tierney came in, within 30 seconds, he already intercepted the ball and immediately had an impact. He gets forward. I'm not saying Zinchenko is bad, but I honestly, if it's a cup final, Tierney for me all day.
And I think in the cup final he would,
Yeah,
honestly.
because
But
it's a
not
matter
about
of what
the,
we want.
It's not about the better
defensive.
player. Yeah, it's about the tactics that will work on the
Yeah,
day.
correct.
And here's where I think that Arteta differs from Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola Pep Guardiola is almost a lot like Arsene Wenger in this way. Pep Guardiola typically has his way that he plays. He has his plan. Henri has talked about this before. He has his plan, but he doesn't really have another plan, have a plan B, right?
Yeah.
Arteta will change us tactically, and I think our left back situation this season, I think is point and parcel to that, because there are certain times where Tomiyasu's quality is preferred to both Zinchenko and Tierney. There's certain
He's a
times
superior
Tierney's
defender.
quality, and so if we're going up against Riyad Mahrez, say he might choose to not have Zinchenko.
He shut
in that
down
game.
Mo Salah.
So
shut
Although
down
a lot
Mo-
of people are these days.
Yeah.
That is a little different, yeah.
So
That's a good point.
But,
But I think it's tactics, and not necessarily. You said something about being narrow, which I think is part of it. But I think it's more so the way that the left back interacts with Xhaka and Martinelli.
yeah.
And with Zinchenko, they are more of a triangle where they kind of move and do things as a
And
unit.
Tierney's doing the overlap.
And Tierney is more of a kind of traditional bomb down the left hand side,
So-
tuck your shirt in, Tesco bag Tierney.
Because often today,
You know?
I was watching to see where Zinchenko was, and there's one point even in the second half, he
was on the right side.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then like his like getting back into position was getting in the middle, and then a lot of times, Gabriel would be widest left. So like if the opposition sprayed a ball to what I would call the left back's area, Gabriel went and collected. I'm like, where the
Right.
fuck is Zinchenko?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like it's a good. I mean, we can kind of complain about it, but it's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
It is.
Sure.
We have three players that can play the shit out of that position.
Yep.
And we can pick and choose which one we want based on the particular tactics that we
Well,
want
and
to
I
play
would
on
have
the
thought
day.
that at a game like today where, and we all kind of mentioned this separately during the game, but like Chelsea had nothing going forward against us. They were playing counterattacking football.
Right.
And so you look at a game like that and you go, Tierney, if there was a time for him to start, it might have been today because we don't have to worry about someone sliding in behind him.
I
and that sort of thing.
disagree. I disagree with that. I think today was the perfect time to start Zinchenko because I
Yeah.
think we knew what they were going to do: sit back and soak up pressure. And I think Zinchenko offers you. Tierney is better at doing the one thing he does, which is going down the byline. And he's very, very good at it. Maybe the best left back in the league at that, going down the byline and lumping crosses in. But
Yep.
I think as overall players, I believe Zinchenko gives you more going forward, and he integrates with the team in attack a lot better and a lot more than Tierney will. So I think today would be a good, especially when we know that they're going to soak up pressure. If we believed that they were going to come at us, I think you start Tierney. But I think we knew there was no way in hell They were
coming
gonna,
at us.
yeah,
Well-
because as much as other teams try to counterattack against us, if we get the counterattack on people, we can be absolutely fucking devastating
True.
on the counterattack. So I don't think there's any way they were going to let us beat them.
God, we had
with
such a
us
chance
counterattacking.
in that second half.
With Gabriel Jesus, that one.
God, that through ball
Yeah.
he put.
Yeah.
There were two sequences where we took the ball off of them, and then the way we pinged it out and then got it up. It was just one of those like, please
Within
have
2
a goal
seconds,
come
half
in.
a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please have
Yeah.
a goal come at the end of this. I want this as a GIF or GIF, whatever,
it's a gift.
and just
GIF.
play
It's
it
GIF.
over.
Let's be Lou creative.
That, yeah, if that had gone in, that would be that GIF would be like anytime anyone says Arteta ball, it'd be a GIF of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that play
Yeah.
developing,
We,
that goal developing.
We played our game today. I don't think they played their game.
No, they
No,
try to
they
do
were
what Man
responding
U
to
They
ours.
played. They
Yeah.
played with fear, is what they
Yeah.
did.
They
Yeah.
try to do what Man U
and
did.
they got what they deserved for it.
And
Yeah. Now we're lucky they didn't have Reece James, who I think is their best player.
I think he is their best player, but they, as a whole, they do not have.
They don't have
the
midfield.
the counterattacking talent that United has with their wide players, their pace, and specifically, like Will said, their midfield.
And there's no goal threat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's,
I mean,
there's no
yeah.
one. Most teams in the league, there's at least one guy. Like even here with West Ham, because even Antonio is
Antonio
like,
and
he's
Scamacca are both goal threats. Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
Antonio's like second or third choice for them.
Yeah.
So there are a
Yeah,
lot of
he's
teams
on the
with,
bench.
with Chelsea. I look at their lineup and go like, oh God, 29 Kai is going to play striker for you
Right.
today.
Bro, if he hadn't scored, I don't think he'd be in a Chelsea kit right now if he hadn't scored the winner in the Champions League.
And how
final.
about Timo Werner?
It's the only thing he's ever fucking done for them of any sort of note.
And Timo Werner goes back to Bundesliga and he's averaging like one and a quarter goals and assists per game.
Per
Well,
game.
now he
Yeah.
ain't averaging shit because he's fucked up.
Oh, but
But yeah,
My
he
God,
was.
the Ben Rama goal was a fucking.
So
howitzer.
one thing I
Look
did
at
want to
this.
say, about Kieran Tierney
this.
and Tom, it's to ease your
Wow.
nerves a little bit.
Okay.
Tierney was the first person subbed in the game.
yeah.
yeah.
He was the first person. He was Arteta's first choice to say, "I'm putting you in
Yeah.
to lock this win," because he got put in after we scored.
Yeah.
So once we scored that goal, Arteta understands that our best defensive option, and we've talked about it numerous times, is Kieran Tierney at left back. That is by far our best defensive option.
Really?
It depends. No, it depends on who's
To me,
got-
it's
I
Tomiyasu.
think
It might be Tomiyasu,
honestly,
yeah.
No, no,
Because
But
Tierney's not
Tierney
great.
gives us
at-
monumentally more going forward. So Tierney is a good. He's good value.
I'm
for
saying
that.
Tierney's still better though, because even though Tomi's done great at left back, that's not his natural spot.
Right.
I don't care. He's a better defender. He's a
I
better
think
defender than Tierney.
If you need to lock down an
Yeah.
attacker, Tomiyasu
Tierney's
gives you an
also-
extra dude.
Tierney's also
but
a lot
Tomiyasu
faster.
gives you.
Tierney is definitely faster.
Tomiyasu
Yeah.
gives you nothing going. Like not nothing, but much less than Tierney.
Yeah.
Much
on the
less.
left
Yeah, going
side. On the
forward,
left
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
On the right side, he goes forward. On the left
He
side,
does, but he doesn't give you anything
No.
going forward.
Yeah.
He
He's
just
just
he
there.
gets to that spot on the pitch, but he doesn't
Yeah.
give you much.
Well, and my question
He's
is
a hell of a defender, though.
By the way, like Tierney got his shirt tugged
yeah, just
today.
ripped right open. Yeah.
And
Oh, that
nothing.
was midweek.
But today,
yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah, pulled him down.
Oh, it was Gallagher. Gallagher on
yeah,
their
yeah.
side tugged his shirt. Nothing.
Yeah.
They did
So-
get it later, at least.
They finally called it eventually.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they did.
my question about Tierney, and this is, I wonder if, and this is not a knock on him at all. Like he obviously gives us great things going forward, and he's one of those hardworking guys. But like we spent the last year and a half bitching and moaning about how we were crossing Inshallah, and like that is kind of like Tierney's strongest thing is bombing down the left and crossing it in. Like we've moved away from that, which I
Yes.
think is good as a team.
but it means that Tierney
But
plays
it
less.
means exactly. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. I think Tierney plays less because we just aren't doing that, which I think overall is better because like, having build up in the middle is a more dangerous thing in today's
Well,
football.
I mean, for me, when I assign that quality to him, I don't want to say he's limited to that because he also has some absolute scorchers. I mean, that goal he scored on Thursday was
Sure,
pretty good.
sure.
And then also
That was a great goal.
And then the one he had against Spurs, Lloris saved it. And then the following week, I forgot who he played after Spurs. And he had another one that was parried.
Whoa.
No, it went off the
Almiron scored
post.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro,
So
he's on
he-
smoke. He's on fire, bro.
And let's not forget that goal he had against West Brom a few years ago, right-footed. I mean, I've been a fan of his since
That's
he was
the
at
best
Seoul.
goal. That's the best goal he's
I'm
ever
wearing,
scored,
I'm
by the
wearing
way.
a Kieran Tierney
Yeah.
shirt
Yeah.
right now. I mean, you can't see it because I'm leaning against the
I have
thing.
one at
Oh,
home.
yeah, in the snow.
Well, I mean,
That's what he
you,
did in
you
the
probably
snow,
can't
right?
see it from the,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the camera.
You
there,
couldn't
but-
see it anyway, but no, like I love the guy and I love the energy that he brings and I love the passion that he has. I mean, he's one of those guys like what do you do when you go out? I don't fucking go out. I
Yeah.
play football.
Yeah.
like that's my
I'm,
job.
Man, I'm never
I go
gonna,
home and hang
never
out with my
gonna
cook.
bitch. I'm never
You
gonna
know?
bitch about good, solid competition. I'm never gonna bitch
So
about that.
let's talk about Ben White because I thought he was fantastic today. Had one or
Best
two
right
bad
back in
passes.
the league this year.
Yeah, you know, and this is I think about this a lot. You know, I like to use the term cup
England starting right
final.
back.
So yeah, let's.
Is Trent not going to the World Cup?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's been.
No,
awful.
he'll
He's
get
Gareth-
called.
Gareth-
Go, but I don't think he's gonna.
Yeah,
Gareth
he'll go.
likes defenders that defend, and
Yeah.
TAA is not that guy.
Yeah.
And then, but what he gives you going forward throughout his career has been, but he's been
Oh, yeah.
awful awful this season.
Yeah. So with Ben, I wonder sometimes if it's a cup final, at some point is he going to play center back? I mean, he's probably going to have to.
Yes.
Because Saliba, Gabriel playing all 38 games.
Yeah, they're going to need a break at some point.
Someone's going
But
to.
think about it this way: we have a right back now and a left back that can legitimately play two different positions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
You know?
really, like, Ben has done nothing to warrant being substituted.
Nope.
No, nothing.
And
Well, and he's young.
How can you drop him?
He has.
How can you drop him?
Legitimately, he has been our best defender this season.
Oh, yeah.
Like Saliba's been great, Gabriel's been great,
Because I wonder
but they both have
if
made
it's
mistakes.
a cup, if it's a
They
cup,
ha- they have.
if,
Ben
it's,
has
if it's a
not.
cup final, is there any reason? I mean, it's him or Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
And I'm going Ben White.
yeah,
Because Ben White, like he did it today. He had that. He dribbled. Although holy shit, as I'm saying that, Saliba in the second.
Oh my
gosh.
Because every time a defender does that, people like I always lose sight of that. That guys at this level, they're not like these MLS defenders that just
Yeah.
kind of lump it and couldn't dribble across the room. Saliba was up there
a
putting
lot of
moves
them
on
are,
people.
but Saliba is not.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I was like, man, in my head, I'm like, if he scores one right now, like we're all doing a Jameson.
But
That
yeah,
is-
he has. I feel like he has no right to be that fucking good, to be as good as he
to
is.
be as tall as he is,
Yeah,
to have
if-
handles
that-
like
that-
that.
to be that
and
deft,
at,
yeah.
at 21, is he 21? At 21?
21.
If that, yeah,
he's
and
21.
please-
Can you imagine what he's going to be at 26? He's going to be Cannavaro or
I was
you
gonna
know
say
what I mean?
at
Speaking
Madrid.
of, well,
Yeah, you
speaking
beat
of
me to
ages,
it. God damn it!
Yeah,
God
yeah,
damn it!
exactly.
He's going to be at Madrid.
He will be at Madrid.
Because with the way that we have the weight structure now, I think for certain players we're going to throw the fucking bag at.
Yep.
And he's going to be one of them.
Well, and we're not waiting
Saka's
till the
going to be
last
another
minute.
one.
You know, like they're already
we're
talking
going to
about
throw
it.
the bag at.
But will the bag be enough
Yeah.
for him? Because
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we're
Yes.
trying to get him to sign one right
he
now.
said he wants to stay. He
Well,
said
and
he
also,
wants
like, we're top of the league, and we're probably going to be in Champions
But
League
it's
next
Madrid.
year. Like,
It's Madrid,
It is,
though.
but,
It
like,
is-
if you're winning and you're enjoying where
I
you're
mean,
at,
Arteta
And
flat out
Madrid
came out
is
and
the
said
only
that
one
he's
right now.
untouchable.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not like
Madrid
he's-
is the only one
so-
right now because Barcelona is a shadow of its former self.
And is
Bayern
broke.
Munich, yeah, they won a Champions League in the last 3 years or so.
Without
Within the last 3
Lewandowski,
years.
they're diminished.
Yeah, they are diminished. I think Real Madrid is the only, and Juventus. My God, are they?
Oh,
They're
they're
dropping
terrible. They're
into the
terrible.
Europa League, as have Atletico Madrid, as have Barcelona
and I think Roma as well.
and Roma. Yeah,
Well,
they
Roma
all
has
dropped
a-
into
you
the
know,
Europa
It's all
League.
blue chip.
Yeah,
it's
they-
all because you know.
And the thing is, I'm not afraid of Juventus or Barcelona in
I'm
that
not either.
competition.
Yeah. None
I
of
actually
them.
relish. I
Yes.
hope they win. And I actually
Barcelona, I'm like
relish.
this. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
let's
I
go
hope
to
we play
Barcelona.
Barcelona in the fucking final and get just a tiny bit of justice for 2006.
Yeah.
Because there is that old joke that two Arsenal fans walk into a Barcelona bar and the bartender says the usual because we always play them. We always
Yeah.
play them.
Yeah.
And Bayern.
Them and Olympiacos and Bayern. Those are the
Yeah.
three.
And I guarantee you that when we get back in the Champions League, I mean, I'm not a
As soon
conspiracy
as we make it
theorist,
out of the group stage, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona or Bayern. Yeah.
And Olympiacos in the group stage.
Yeah, easy.
Every fucking year.
every time.
So
And
yeah,
we'll drop points to them in Greece because they're difficult to play in Greece.
Ben White was
always.
excellent today. There really wasn't anyone that I thought was poor as such.
No.
Martinelli did have that one volley that came to him, and then he just
So one of the
I
things
think
I
it
was
was
saying when
behind
it
him a
happened
little
live
Huh?
was
behind him a little bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was more so he overran it.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Which-
think he
that's what
expected it to
you know,
curl.
he's so fast
And
that
then
happens.
right, exactly. And then when he realized how it was coming in, he was like, "Crap, what's the best way for me to try to approach this?"
Yeah.
And so it was hit pretty hard towards him.
Oh, if he
didn't have a lot of time to react.
If that goes in, 3 Gordon Bankses are not going to stop that. It
Yeah.
was,
Oh, yeah,
it
no.
was gonna. It was gonna.
so
burn a hole in the
I'm
back
not
of
going to
the net.
fault him too much because he was in the
Oh,
correct
no.
space.
If it came off, it would have been a
Yeah,
worldie, but I don't
right,
fault him
right.
for
No,
yeah.
no, no.
But,
'Cause-
if it had
But his runs today, his ability to keep the ball in play throughout the entire match was
his,
incredible.
His close control is, I don't want to say second to none, but I don't know if there's anyone that's wide left right now in the league that's better than him.
at close control,
the way that he can take somebody to the corner flag or across the middle, I love it.
Brazil better call him up for the World Cup. I swear. To God.
they will. This is just the most uncontroversial controversy that there's
And
ever been.
I don't want to.
Him and Jesus will
I don't
be
want to
uncut.
hijack
Oh, I
this.
know.
Is anyone not going to watch? I feel like I'm not going to watch the World Cup.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
going to.
absolutely going to watch.
Here's the thing. I'll watch. I hope nobody goes. That's my thing.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's not the case.
I know.
They've
I realize
basically
it's
sold
not.
out every game.
Well, also like the fucking Qatari government like paid people to come,
Yeah.
so you can come for free
Influencers,
as long as you
Yeah.
give us positive coverage.
Yep.
So there's going to be people there. I wish that no one would show up. That's the thing.
And like that when they're
Just
when they're
Qatar should never
No.
should never
No.
have gotten this World Cup. In the
And
first
one of the
place.
ministers had a
15,000
tweet
dead.
recently about, like,
15,000 dead
yes, exactly.
yeah,
What's
all the Bundesliga teams yesterday
for
protested
less
about
than
it.
6,000
15,000
minutes of football.
Yes, 57 or whatever. It's
704 minutes or whatever it is.
760, I think.
Some minister of theirs tweeted because one of the gay supporters groups tweeted something.
We're not
about,
coming. It's
we're
like,
not
good,
coming.
we'll have a clean World Cup then.
Right.
Yeah.
He said specifically something about we're honored to not
have
not,
these people.
not welcome
It
you.
was
It's disgusting.
No, it's ridiculous. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that this is my position about watching it. Is the money's already been spent?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
So what
whoever's
difference-
covering it.
what difference are we gonna
exactly?
make?
Whoever's covering it has already paid the billions of dollars to cover it.
Yes.
Whoever has advertised
the TV money,
for it is already
the ticket
there.
sales is like a little tiny piece of pie. It's
Yeah,
the TV
it's-
money and
Right,
all that
the
stuff.
Now, the
Yeah.
tickets,
advertising.
I will say that the ticket sales are the most legitimizing part of it that
Sure.
people come and show up.
Yes.
But for me to watch or not watch, it doesn't fucking make a difference.
Yeah.
They don't care, so
Yeah.
I'm going to watch football.
But maybe it's
and our country missed the last
Yeah.
Yeah.
World Cup. So
I mean,
it's like
I don't have a
you know.
Nielsen box. Like no one knows what the fuck I watch. What
Right.
difference does it make?
Right.
Yeah.
But it would be great that if the reports came out that this was the least watched World Cup.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Because-
And it could
That would be a statement.
However, the final will still be over 1 billion viewers. So-
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, and I'll probably will watch the final.
It's the championship game for the most highest level of the most popular sport in the entire
because
world.
it's.
So
I
it's
honestly
like-
think
They break 1 billion every year.
I think
Yeah,
or
yeah.
every time.
Brazil
Every
is
4
going to
years,
steamroll this thing. It's going to be like a hot knife through butter.
Well, it's
I don't
and
think
is,
anyone
is
can
it,
touch him.
Is it that Brazil is so good, or
Argentina.
is it just everyone
I think
else
it's
is
everyone
so
else is
injured?
down.
Is
Yeah.
so injured.
Yeah.
Argentina
This
has
should be-
not lost in 2 years.
Argentina never comes through at the final.
I know. I'm
ever.
just saying they have not lost in 2 years.
They're going to lose this World
Oh,
Cup.
Argentina
You
has
want to
not
put some
lost?
money on it?
No, but I did pick them to
You
win.
take Argentina, and I'll take the field, and we'll bet some money
No,
on it.
that's not a fair bet. You pick one team. If
I
I'm going to
hope,
pick one,
I
you
hope
pick
Belgium gets it because I
I'm-
love so many
that's-
of their
that,
players.
That is my choice. That is my choice. And I've always liked the Belgium team. They're kind of like the
I have
most
Argentina,
noteworthy
Belgium
secondary
in the
team that I
final.
follow. And I follow England only because we watch a lot of English players
Right,
every
right,
week.
same.
That's the league that we watch. But
I don't
Belgium
want-
is like my second team of choice.
I'll only
essentially.
back England if the mouth breather gets.
I'll never back
benched.
England. Sorry.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think we get. If we're going to talk about, I don't think we make it out of the group stage.
No, we don't.
Unless they're playing like the fucking
Yeah, unless
the
like,
fighting Stalins in the final or something. You know what I mean?
Because like here's the thing. Like
How the fuck did Iran get invited?
Iran's good.
Iran's not. That's the
Their
thing.
team is
they're
good.
They're not bad,
no, but
they're
like,
not bad.
I mean, I'm just talking from political
Oh,
aspects. Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's in Qatar.
you're scumbag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly
why.
right. That's exactly
That's
right.
the, only, that's the
Scumbags.
only reason Qatar is in the World Cup because it's in Qatar.
Right, exactly.
chemical gases, and then now supporting the Russians in Ukraine with drones and advisory capacities.
Yeah, I mean, there have been calls to ban them from
And
competing.
I
It's not
don't
gonna
want to. I
happen.
don't want to
Yeah.
indict their FA because who knows what those guys and the players
Right.
feel about it. They could all be against
what,
it as far as I
what
know.
they're doing and what they're
But-
doing to women alone, like what they're doing to women right now.
Yeah.
If FIFA had, and they don't, but FIFA should say you're not coming, and whoever was next on the fucking list, on the invite list, you're coming because what they're doing to women right now. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
this is not that type of podcast.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's
No, but
that's-
it doesn't matter if it's that type of podcast. It deserves to be said.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
but the fact of the matter is, like, they're not there are three. There are like I'm not gonna say we're the group of death.
No,
but
we
like,
are. We are. All three of
It
our
could be.
teams. All three of our teams are ranked in the top 20,
Top 20, yeah.
Yep.
or all four. Excuse me,
Yeah, all four teams.
All
And
four
so-
ranked in the top 20.
So
How the hell
also-
are we in the top 20?
We're 16th.
Yeah, we're always in the top 20, bro.
This shouldn't be.
We
we
essentially
shouldn't be.
stay
We shouldn't even
in
be
the
top 30.
20.
I'm not even kidding. We shouldn't even be. We're terrible.
It's the FIFA coefficient or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I know.
but
The top three
Qatar-
is Dylan.
Yeah,
Dylan. Because I spit hot fire.
Spit that fire. Name the 5 greatest rappers in the world.
Dylan.
Top
Because
5
I
rappers, and
spit
they're
hot
all
fire.
Dylan.
Fucking, I just like it's not cool. It's not cool with me personally, and I know I'm a nobody, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just not cool with me the way they and they say it's as far as Qatar. They say it's you got to respect the other country's customs and stuff.
No.
and it's
No.
not a custom,
No.
and it's not their way of life. It's a few people that are in power that said we don't like homos.
Yeah.
So that gets adopted as the
And
whole
it's not just
country's
homos,
stand.
like, I
Let
wanna
me
say
tell you
it's
something.
You
everything.
can't date in public.
Anything.
If you get-
PDA,
if you get drunk with
especially
your-
gay, especially trans. Let me tell you something. There are gay, trans. There are people of there. All those people are in Qatar. They exist. There are Qatari
yeah.
people that
They have
are
to
those
hide.
people that fit
They
those
have to
demographics. And they probably feel unsafe, and that's really shitty.
Well, but to your point, Tom, it's not just that. It's every damn thing.
Like
Yeah.
like if you are a legitimate,
if you're a heterosexual couple, you can't hold hands.
Yeah.
like if you
Right.
like any city in the Western Hemisphere on a Saturday night, like I love seeing it. Like older couples holding hands, making out, being affectionate.
Yeah.
And they're full on they're not like that. They don't want that. And it's like women have to be subjugated and women are more or less chattel.
Yeah.
And
And
then let's not even get into like almost every Afghanistan war veteran I ever talked to is like, oh, there's a whole cultural. Women are for marrying and boys are for fucking. Like they dress up little boys and whatever. Like this is not Islamo hate. This is Arab hate. This is an Arab culture thing. But like fucking little boys in the ass is okay with them. It's that admitting being gay out in the open.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem.
It's just one of those. I mean, you look at that. You look at all the people that died building these stadiums. You look at the fact that it's in November when it shouldn't be.
Yep.
You know, all this other stuff, and it's all just on the
You know,
back of
Carragher and Henry made a pretty good point the other day, which was essentially no one, the people that they care about the least when planning this World Cup are the players themselves.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you the players would be like, bro, it's too many games. So the games at the beginning of the season in every league or in all the top 5 European leagues are compressed. And then the games after the World Cup are compressed because usually you don't get a month break. Now the Africa Cup of Nations is usually in the winter, but the teams, the world
teams keep
federations
playing.
they just say we have to play without our African contingent of players. But so the games the club games aren't compressed.
It's a total
at that
Olympic
point.
situation because now
Yeah.
Qatar's built these stadiums. Once this thing
What are you
ends,
gonna do with them? Yeah.
fucking nothing.
They claim they're like, it's not going to be a white elephant situation. Of course it is.
Fucking
It's always like
the
that.
Maracanã
It's
and all
always
those
like that.
stadiums in Brazil. There are stadiums that have like overgrown shit. There's one that's like being used as a
Brazil
dead bus
stadiums fall
depot.
down because
Yeah.
people piss on them.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well,
that's
no,
a
there's one
different-
that's like a dead bus depot that was a brand new
Yeah, the one in Manaus,
one that's already been
built for the
overtaken by the jungle.
2014 World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, Manaus, I'm sure, is turned into the Amazon again.
Yeah, exactly.
So, somebody was telling me at halftime that Gabriel Jesus is not living up to his potential.
What?
Yeah,
No,
they
see,
could suck it.
That's no.
False.
And
Suck it.
well, he got close. He worked so hard, and that pass he had.
he worked so hard for the team.
5 goals, 5 assists.
That's the
Listen.
thing. He may not have scored a goal in a hot minute, but he has contributed to so many goals, whether directly or indirectly.
Touches in the box.
Right. And
He's
just
always
having
close to
someone-
1-to-1 rate for goal contributions per game. He's
Right.
always close to that
Like,
1-to-1 rate.
we got to get away from just like how many goals have you scored?
Because
all-
Holland scored 1 million goals, but he has no assists.
He's
like one
ruined it
assist.
for everyone. Holland
And
has
here's the
ruined
thing.
it.
Oh man, I can't wait to fucking talk about this because people will say Jesus, or people will say something about about Darwin Nunez because he scored 5 goals also in the league and Jesus scored 5 goals. But look at where Liverpool are and look at where Arsenal are.
Liverpool also spent $100 million on him.
Yeah, and Man United, or not Man United, Man City.
Liverpool.
Man City here is why what I talked about earlier, talking about how quote unquote dominant Man City are now historically. Or let's call it the past decade, they have been dominant, but right now they're not dominant, and it is because, like I said earlier, Pep has a plan, and he rarely has a plan B. Their plan A this year is Erling Haaland. If he has an off game, if he has a bad game, which happens every so often, they drop points, or they look absolutely pedestrian to everyone.
And he gets hurt. He's gonna get hurt.
Here's where,
He already was. He
Will
came in. That's why he's
said
been
that
coming off the
before
bench.
I got to give Willis
Said
flowers.
that.
He said that before the season,
Yep.
and he basically guaranteed it, and he was right. But if he's not on, then they look absolutely pedestrian. What they lose by selling Gabriel Jesus to us is someone whose main focus is the team rather than scoring my own goals or getting my own stats. Because even if he doesn't score, even if he doesn't even get an assist, you can look at almost every performance of his and say, but look what he did for the team. Look at
Off
the
ball
hold up
stuff,
play.
yeah.
Look at he might have gotten the secondary assist instead of the assist.
Holland
assist.
doesn't give you that pass that
doesn't.
Gabriel Jesus.
He's not even. It's not even close. Holland is a pure finisher, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
Outside of the 18-yard area, he's almost wholly ineffective.
Yeah.
And as big as he is, you would think he would do something like Giroud. When Giroud played for us, he would defensively contribute inside our own box at the end of games.
Yeah.
He was a big part of why we
Yeah.
might win a game at the end or hold on to points because he's in there playing center back because he's 6'12".
Yeah.
But he doesn't give you the team aspect that Gabriel Jesus gives you.
Agreed.
And that's why Jesus has lifted our team and to help lift our team to where we are now. Whereas Holland, he will score goals and he will win you matches. He will. But
He's forced them to change their tactics.
His lack of other things that he does also might be the thing that drops you points.
Well, and the fact that Jesus is on the verge of being suspended for yellow cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Tells you how hard he works.
I actually love
Right.
that.
Oh, I do too.
I don't mind that at all.
That's not just being a poacher and a striker. That's getting involved in. Like you don't pick those up if you're
defends.
involved.
Giving your all for the team. There was a chance today that he ended up taking, and he it was kind of wide, and he hit it at the keeper, and the keeper saved it. But we wouldn't even have been in a position to have that chance if he hadn't nicked the ball off the left back to begin with.
Yep. That's
what Gabriel Jesus gives you that Erling Haaland does not give you.
So 2 points.
So I would say that both teams won that both teams got really, really good players.
Yep.
But again, if the great equalizer, look where we are. Look where we are right now. And
2
look,
points up on them.
And look, but look where we are based upon expectation of both teams.
Sure.
Look at where both teams are based upon the expectations placed upon them.
Yeah, they were
people thought we weren't even going to
be
be in the top 5 this year.
If you ask people,
and people said Man City was going to walk the league.
Yep.
Easy.
So 2 points I have about Haaland. The first one is because I've said it on the podcast before. I love Haaland. I hope he has a long, healthy,
I love watching him.
healthy
Great
career.
player.
He's so much fun to watch. So
he has no right to be as fast as he is for his fucking size.
Facts.
No
So,
right.
So the first point is this: and it was what you were talking about, Jesus off-ball work, right? There's no one in the world at the striker position when their team is on offense that is better than Haaland with off-ball work.
Yeah.
The movement he does when he doesn't have the ball, when his team has the ball,
He's elite. Absolutely
It's incredible. Like, go back and just watch City games. And for people watching this or listening to this podcast, just go back and watch City games or watch the future games when he's on the field and their team has
And
the
they
ball.
have the ball. His runs. If you just watch
the
him.
micro runs that he does to then open up another space for himself is just insane. He's constantly doing it.
Yeah.
Once his
you
team,
know who comes close though is the kid from Napoli, Osimhen, Victor Osimhen.
Oh yeah.
He actually comes close. If you watch his movie,
Yeah,
similar
that's
movement,
fair.
not quite to the level of Haaland, but
Yeah.
Haaland's a 10 out of 10. He's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So, but the point I'm getting at about this is once his team loses the ball, if he's close to that ball when it's lost possession, he'll challenge it.
Right.
But then the moment he's not close, he's walking.
Doesn't give
Right.
a fuck.
And Jesus will sprint 40 yards
He'll,
to
Jesus
challenge
will
the guy
go to
with the
our
ball.
6.
Yeah.
He'll run back to our 6-yard box
Yeah.
to try to get that ball
we
back.
haven't had that from a guy that far forward since Alexis, honestly. You know, and
Locke
say what
is-
you will about
Locke
it,
is it.
But Alexis,
Lacazette, when he first joined, he would do
that's
that.
true.
Alexis was kind of a fraud in that regard, though, because Alexis, he moved a lot.
He
on
ran
the
back, but he
pitch.
didn't actually get on it,
He was the Patrick Beverly of like.
Ozil's still
Patrick
traveling.
Beverly runs around a lot and has convinced people that he's some sort of elite defender when he's not.
He just runs around.
Yeah, he just is
Yeah.
active and he's got movement and you can see him because he's always running around. That was kind of Alexis.
Ozil still ran more
Yeah,
on the field.
Ozil is the sort of the antithesis to that. He didn't look like he was running, but
he actually
every
was
game he
effective.
played and he ran the most on both teams on the pitch.
Yep.
So it's like it is a lot about
It's-
what you look
yeah,
like
yeah,
and how you
the
if you
eye
look
test.
like you're working.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I will
That's
say
fair.
Gabby Jesus does look like he's working, but also again that
is.
chance he created today,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't even have been a chance.
And that's what's
And
great.
then we want a
Richmond
corner off
Blue
of that
Moon
chance.
podcast.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and that's what's been great about our entire attack 3.
What about
is that,
Blue Moon?
Welcome to the Richmond Blue Moon podcast. Richmond, we're
Yeah, sponsored by Blue Moon.
I'm wearing a.
Please
None of
give
us are
us money.
drinking a Blue Moon.
That's fair.
Well, it's part of the city nickname.
Oh.
I'll finish
fair
it with
enough,
this. Something I don't think is talked about often enough is Haaland is never offside. I think that's remarkable.
Except for
Because-
yesterday on the goal.
Yeah.
By
'Cause
his knee.
He does a
His
really good job of
kneecap.
staying on side.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
That's true.
And we'll talk about it. The intelligence of his runs. It's absolutely elite.
Yeah.
I want to give you guys.
I had one more point though.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Haaland. So he's not playing in the World Cup, and Odegaard's not either. So they both get to get healthy.
Oh,
all
yeah.
that kind
He's
of
going to be
stuff.
resting.
I don't care who. I'm telling you right now. I'm absolutely going to be placing this bet. Haaland first game outside the World Cup. Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe even 4.
I am putting money down because this
Maybe
man
even
is going to
4.
come back healthy and pissed.
Yeah. And then he was just
It
sitting there
depends
for a
on
minute.
who they're
Yeah.
playing. but
I don't
yeah.
know. I just said I don't care who they're
Oh, you don't?
playing.
Okay,
I'm
fair
putting it
enough.
down for a hat.
But all right.
I have a question for
Okay.
you guys. Aston Villa's up 3-1 on Man United.
Jesus.
I want all three of you to guess how much
Possession man or
no,
Villa's had.
I want you to guess live win probability for Man United as of right now. They updated it. I want you guys to guess. It's
17,
percentage out of 100.
17.
17, 12,
52.
4.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Aston Villa 85, draw 11, Man United 4.
I just feel like the ref can help them out
I
somehow.
mean, they were down 2-0 early.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
So
were.
they're
Well,
not
and
good
Man, so
right
I
now.
and I'm still sour.
during the halftime, I
I'm
saw their
still
goal.
sour that we lost
Aston
those.
Villa has scored 4
Dickheads,
goals.
man.
Yeah.
Aston Villa has scored 4
Dickhead.
goals.
It was an
It's
own
just
goal.
that, yeah, one of them was
I
in
watched
Man
it.
United's net.
It was a
Jacob
terrible,
Ramsey.
yeah. It was a terrible, lucky ass deflection off it was a terrible shot that was deflected off the defender and then happened to go to the back post. I just happened to see it during the halftime highlights.
Jacob Ramsey has actually evened himself out because he scored an own goal for Man United at 45 minutes, and then at 49 minutes he scored for Aston Villa.
Well, while we're talking about other teams, this came up a couple days ago. We were just either in the group chat or on Twitter or wherever it was,
Please tell me.
looking at like
Oh,
Chelsea's
he's in the game.
Is he?
Lisandro Martinez. Let's talk about these comparisons between him and Saliba after you
Oh, God.
address your. But
Yeah,
they're currently down
we-
3-1
yeah.
to Aston Villa right now.
Yeah, no.
And it is. There's no better example right now of partisanship than the idea of Sandro Martinez is as good as Saliba.
Yeah, not even close.
Or
This-
any.
But this
It
also
actually discounts how
them-
good he is because
them-
he's a fine player.
But them
and I think
struggling-
he's proven that. But he is no Saliba.
them,
Yeah.
them struggling. All right, we've seen this. This is going to take me back to what we talked about the disrespect that we get all season. We have beaten clubs on the road this year, earned points where all the other big six that have gone there are dropping.
Yeah.
They're losing, drawing,
Facts.
struggling.
There's
Facts.
a reason that
Facts
picture
machine.
of going away
That's
from
a
an away
three-
game
that's
with
a
all 3
3-1.
points.
That's a 3-1 printer copier. Facts.
Yeah,
Yeah, right there.
and it's just infuriating to me that we are getting
Yeah.
these points at places that in the past we have not been getting points.
and no one is now.
Palace,
Yeah.
Southampton, right? And there's some others too.
Yeah.
Leicester. I mean, Leicester the last couple
I
of years
think
we've
some
struggled
of
to
our
get points
wins that we got towards the beginning of the season should now be being looked at as really good wins.
Yes.
Because the teams are
'Cause it's-
performing better than expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
They're still going to say we're going to fade in the spring. They're going to say we're going to fade in the
Well, and
spring.
who's
It's,
say what
it's
the
hard
fuck's
to
gonna
go.
happen
It's
after
hard
the
to go to
World Cup.
Selhurst Park and take points off.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard to do, and they've proven it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's hard to go
All
there
right,
and
so
take 3 points off.
Ryan had a point. He
Okay,
wanted to say
so
that.
we were talking about in the lead up to this match. You know, you look at our 11, you look at Chelsea's 11, and is there a single player on Chelsea that would start on Arsenal?
No,
Reece James. And that's it.
I think I
Yeah.
think Reece
that's
James,
an argument, and that's a debatable.
I think
argument.
Reece James is the only one that can even make an argument, because if we look at it, I think Reece James is a better player than Ben White, perhaps, but if we base it on this year's form or even maybe the last 2 years' form, last year I think Reece James is better, but marginally. Reece James was one of the best players in the league last year, but
Yep.
Ben White was also one of the best players in the league last year.
Yeah.
He might have been our best player last year, whereas this year, he's been injured, so he hasn't had the impact that Ben White has, and Ben White has really not put a single foot wrong this entire season.
None.
He's been as Will said earlier. I know people won't like this, but he's probably been our best defender this season because Saliba's made mistakes. He's already scored an own goal this year.
Yeah.
He's and Saliba. His biggest weakness is when his back is to goal, close to the goal. That's when he
Yeah.
scored his own goal. That's where because if everything is in front of him, he's the Great Wall of China. He just doesn't let shit. He doesn't
Are
really
either
get dribbled past.
either Kepa or Mendy better keepers in Ramsdale?
So here's the thing.
No, neither.
I think they might be on par with Ramsdale.
Mendy's definitely not.
But Mendy was great today.
No,
Mendy's
Mendez?
Ava Mendez
I-
playing
yeah,
goal.
Ava Mendez.
I combined the two keepers' names.
The Melendez, bro.
So Mendy's shot stopping ability is slightly better than Ramsdale, but Ramsdale's
distribution.
distribution
Ramsdale's
ability
everything
is
else.
substantially
and
Ramsdale's
here's
better.
the thing,
everything.
like,
Yeah.
aside from the actual the actual measurable shit, Ramsdale's just like vibe and energy
Yes.
is what we need right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
He's fucking crazy back there.
He passes
And,
the
like,
vibe
He's
check.
25.
The Arsenal goalkeeper.
And
vibe
he's
check.
25. He's
Yeah.
this good at 25. Keeper's prime is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's this good at 25.
Yeah, like Mendy's size, and like that could have its.
He's massive.
He's a large dude. Like,
Oh, yeah, very
in,
large.
In like PKs,
Pause.
in like in a PK situation, maybe that comes into play. But like I think that just like
penalty. Okay, I thought you were saying PK as in Gerard.
no,
PK?
no.
Who just
No.
announced he's
Who
retiring.
announced his retirement? He's
Yeah,
retiring
yeah, I
in the
saw
middle
that.
of the
Yeah.
season.
Didn't he
Yeah.
get divorced from Shakira?
Yes,
Yeah,
well, because
yeah.
he cheated on her like a fucking moron.
Yep.
Yeah,
Who cheats on Shakira?
Who are you? Who are you?
Do you think you are?
Like,
And
what
do
is
you
someone else
think
getting
you are,
Did
my
you
guy?
see who he cheated on her with?
No.
Because
Someone who probably looks pedestrian. By
when I
comparison.
read about it, I was like, I
know.
bet she's bad as fuck. I saw the picture. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like if you would think, like, out of all
It's the stuff. It's the stuff that she's willing to do.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I guarantee there's some.
It's
there's some
gotta. It's
bust
gotta
up.
be.
I don't
It's
know,
gotta be.
because I was like, I wouldn't even fuck that bitch.
And Tom's like, and I'd fuck anything.
I've
Including
done
a
worse and
grapefruit.
liked it, but
Yeah.
but anyway, it's just weird.
Or
Did
I
you
don't know
just
if
hear
you
what I
guys.
said?
I don't know if you guys are particularly into black iron, but if we could pivot to the NBA for a second, Ime Udoka's wife is Nia Long.
Dude.
I don't know if you know who Nia Long is.
Nia Long is bad, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that dude's got questionable priorities.
Yeah, and there's only like 3 women that work in the Celtics organization, which, as an aside, they should have more women working within the
Well, it's
organization.
Boston, so
Yeah, but there's only 3 women, and they found the pictures. The Twitter sleuth says Twitter sleuth, and they
Oh, yeah.
found the pictures, and I was like,
nah.
come on, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
But anyway,
I guarantee again, it's the stuff. It's
yeah,
the stuff.
It's always the stuff.
as Chris Rock said, a
'Cause
man
she's
is as faithful as his options.
none of them were better looking than Nia Long, and I think that's not even objective. I think that's a fact.
Yeah,
So-
it is insane.
And no one makes a starting 11
No,
from
that-
Chelsea.
No.
So Tom said that maybe there's an argument for Conte.
No, I said that.
Or no, Ryan said
said
that,
that.
and I pushed
Conte
back.
10 years
I pushed-
ago.
Yeah, I pushed back hard on him because I think Conte has
Conte
has
3 years
regressed
ago. Shit.
significantly.
Yeah.
And it's not just injuries or stuff like that. I think he's just regressed to where I don't consider him nearly in that top tier.
Yeah.
Will was talking about how he thought Party was the second best, and I said he's for sure top 3. And I think the top 3 are Casemiro, Rodri, and Party. And I think if you can make an argument for putting those 3 in any possible order, and it wouldn't sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Casemiro playing today?
They're well,
I don't
let's
know.
see.
If he is, he ain't doing shit. But
He
yeah.
is.
Oh dear.
But they've put Eriksson there as like a pivot
Yeah.
beside him.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure about
Yeah,
that. I
I
think
don't-
they want to put Eriksson on the pitch, so that's kind of where they put him. They're
Yeah,
trying to make him
that's not
into
really what
Pirlo,
yeah.
and he's just not
Eriksson's
quite
more of an
that.
attacking- yeah.
And they got Van de Beek playing in the 10 hole. I really think they should switch Van de Beek and Eriksson.
I'm sorry. I will
and,
never
you
not
know.
think he's James Van Der Beek. I just
He
can't.
is such
Van der
an
Beek.
I was really hoping that when Ten Hag got hired, that he would star with his Ajax history and everything.
His
because
people.
He's
a really good player, man.
He's so underutilized.
He's a really
It is
good player.
criminal because as underachieving as they are, and that he doesn't play, to me is criminal.
Well, that's what happens
He
in United.
deserves to play. He deserves.
He does.
Like, look at the dickheads that you put in there, Fred and
Yeah.
fucking
fucking
Fred.
Fred, man.
McTominay.
What a
Yeah.
terrible just
Dickhead.
I call
terrible
that pivot. I call it McTomafred, and it's like
Newcastle
or
too.
Fred Tomine.
Yeah.
And it's just like you could just be better. If McTominay, all he's good for is just kicking the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And he scores one long range goal every 20 games. That is a good goal.
He's
You know
supposed
what I
to be.
mean?
He's supposed to be the next Darren Fletcher. And
But what is that saying? Darren Fletcher. Oh my God, Darren Fletcher is a product of he's like the footy version of a system quarterback. He is fucking.
Yeah.
He is good because he had an excellent coach, and
Right.
him and Carrick are just bang average players.
Well, and the inverse of that
they
is
are bang
true.
average players. So you can have a good player. You can have a good player that plays badly, right, and affects their team adversely. In the same vein, you can have a bang average player that works hard and affects his team positively. Michael Antonio is a
Yeah.
good example of that.
Yeah.
He's not going to set the world alight with his technical ability, but he works really hard. That's what Fletcher and Carrick were in those teams. They weren't ever the best midfielders at anything.
Well, and,
They
and,
just-
and like now,
of course,
that's a
Zaha
penalty.
goes to the ground.
Yes.
Well,
there he
but-
goes.
Oh no.
No.
Sit on your ass and go like this.
But
That's you.
But here's the thing. The thing about United is like now that's where talent goes to die.
Yes.
I mean, you've
I
got
love it.
Casemiro now. You had Pogba for the last however many years.
Yeah.
Because like you look at what Pogba
Martinez.
did.
Casemiro is
Yeah.
he's different gravy, man.
No, he is.
To me.
but, like,
He is the top
but
of the
that's
top.
what
in that
happens
position
now
in
when
world
you go to
football.
United. When you're like the top 3 or 4 in your position, is they just don't know what the fuck to do with you.
I'm
and he's
shocked
not gonna,
that he
he's not
went.
gonna he's not
Yeah.
gonna set the world alight by himself there, but I think that is the right type of purchase because Man United, in order to get better, in order to get where they want to be, they need
Well, but
probably
I guess,
3 guys that are the best player in the entire world.
I guess what I'm saying
that's
is
what Casemiro is.
they could get all of those things. They still fuck it up somehow.
Yeah. I mean, they
Right
probably
now,
would.
yeah.
I think Ten Hag is a good coach, and I think we've seen flashes, but
Yeah.
just like when Arteta came, it was it took 3 years to get to where we are now,
Yeah.
right?
Because,
it's
yeah,
going to take Ten Hag some time to at least
He's going to have
try.
to. He's going to rotate out the guys
Yeah.
that he didn't want.
Yeah, it's
because-
possible.
He's going to get rid of CR7. He's going at the end of the season.
Because
He's going to
you look at our squad.
Shit in January
The
he's gonna
people
do it.
the people that Arteta has brought in that are truly his players.
Yeah.
That's why we are where we are.
Yeah.
Well, and to close the book on Chelsea,
And also because we got rid of Auba.
yeah, well, we'll come back to him in a second. But to close the book on Chelsea's squad versus our squad, Orbinho had this earlier this morning, and this is pre-today's game, obviously, but he said there have been 9 meetings of the Big Six this season with 0 away wins. 7 of them were won by the home side. The only team to drop points in their own pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Chelsea twice with home draws.
Hold
and now they've
that.
also lost.
And now
Hold
3
that.
times.
right. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely hold that L.
yeah, like Chelsea just, I mean, I suppose a team that fires their coach after whatever it was, 8 games or whatever, you're not going to expect a ton out of them.
Orbinho
But-
has another stat that from 14 minutes ago. Only Man City in 2015 with 3 and with 4 in 2017. Only Man City have restricted Chelsea to fewer shots in a home game for the Blues than Arsenal with 5 today. Since we have shot data in our database since 2003.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, we all
Since
said
2003.
Bang bang.
I love our defense.
Bing
I
bong.
love our defense. The fact that the only thing I wonder about our defense is who are we going to have in, week out. There's no one that worries me other than 1950s fighter pilot. You roll him out now and again when we're playing.
He played in the Europa League, but
Yeah.
he's largely
I think
been,
with Zinchenko
yeah.
healthy, we're not going to see much of
Yeah.
him at all. Like Cedric is
because
gonna be
I wonder.
Holding came
garbage
down to
time.
lock down the fort.
Have
Yeah.
we mentioned this?
What?
Bukayo Saka has been booked 3 times this season.
Yeah, I said that.
Only 1 player has been booked for a foul on Saka.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, we
And
talked
he is-
about that during the
and he-
game.
and
We
he
did
is-
talk about it during the game.
yeah,
I
he
didn't
is-
really.
and
I
he
didn't.
is the
I thought
most
we were
fouled player.
approximating the stats.
Oh, gotcha. No,
But
no.
did Saka get a yellow today?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has
Yeah.
4 on the
Yeah,
season
yeah.
now.
But I mean,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right,
what I'm
Tom,
saying.
like,
Is he
think
had 3 or
about
4?
think about how much he's gotten the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Side, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right, Tom. Like that's everyone's defensive strategy. Like the only way you can stop Bukayo Saka is to beat his ass.
Yeah.
And like for some
They
fucking
foul him.
reason, they're letting him get away with it.
And it's insane because here he is on the cover of Time magazine. He is such a model human being. And I know Marcus Rashford, he's done wonderful things. But Marcus Rashford is a very outspoken guy. Saka is the epitome of the
Very
word humble.
He's
private,
quiet.
very-
And he's very devout. Like
Yeah.
that's also not talked about. He's very devout,
Religious
and,
man, yeah.
And whereas nowadays, like if he were to get out there on social media and say like, "Here's me and my family going to church,"
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
the
you
guys
can't-
that
yeah.
the guys that like to fuck little boys, they ain't gonna like that.
Yeah. Well, I think why Saka. You know,
Rashford is a top tier human, though.
Oh, he is.
I'll give
Oh,
him
yeah.
that.
This
I'll
is
give
not
him that.
Rashford.
But see,
Saka.
like I didn't hear it today, so I know that, and I loved it when Aubameyang had his first touch that we booed him.
the shit out of him.
But I know that Chelsea,
And
whenever
the subsequent
Saka
3 touches, which is all he got in the game.
yeah. Basically.
4 touches, yeah.
Well, he had 4 touches in the first half. I don't
And
know
a
if
yellow.
the
He
rest
got
of
a
them-
yellow.
Yeah. And then he got
Yeah.
subbed off.
Yeah.
More yellows than goals. But you know, the idea that Saka is someone. I don't know if they booed him today, and I don't know if
I
Chelsea
don't
still
think-
boos him.
I don't
And I
think
know
so.
I had an interaction with this absolute waste of a human being that is a fan of that club, but he's like, "Your best player let his whole country down." And I'm going, your best player could have squared it to Raheem Sterling, and you would have been in the World Cup final.
Chill. Chill.
Then he was like,
Why was
go
Saka-
watch American football. I'm like, I've been watching this sport since '82.
Saka should never have been put in that
Why,
position.
why
in
was
the first
Saka
place.
put in that position at 19 years old?
Exactly.
Anyway?
Yeah,
Don't-
never,
Are you
never,
fucking kidding
never
me?
taken a professional penalty
Well,
in his
and,
life.
and
at
the
that
grace
time,
with which
at that
he
time.
handled all of that,
Yeah.
and the vitriol that he was subjected to,
And
and the
his-
fact that he is still
And
as
the way
effective.
he's come back
The
since
shit
then.
they threw at him today when he took the corner,
Oh,
they
yeah.
threw a water bottle. Like,
Well,
well, that-
so one
well,
of
the-
those was legit. One of those, someone was like having a fucking heart attack in the stands or whatever. And they had to
Or
get someone's
supposedly.
attention.
Joey, why did that person? have a heart attack?
It was probably a Chelsea fan having a heart attack while calling Bukayo Saka a nigger.
Well, sure, it's
Yeah.
entirely possible.
That's probably that would be on brand for Chelsea fans, I feel. So
But-
Send all your complaints to
hold
richmondgooners
that.
at gmail.com.
Hold that. Yeah, if you're a Chelsea fan, listen. I want you to sit in this, right? I want you to sit in
Yeah.
it, and I want you to feel it.
Let it
Hold
fester.
okay.
Let it fester.
Yeah.
Open YouTube app, search Chelsea away PSG train. Click.
Yeah.
And then we're
And then watch
racist,
all
we're
the
racist,
videos.
we're racist,
Yeah.
and that's the way we like it.
Yeah.
We like it. We like it.
Were they
don't
really
choose
chanting
a
that?
team. Don't choose a team because they're good. Because the Chelsea headhunters, that entire part of London where they're wealthy and have money
Yep.
and have this whole like, oh, just because I'm conservative doesn't mean I'm a racist, mate.
Bro, I spoke to it.
But meanwhile, yeah, like they do the noises and throwing
That's
bananas.
not what makes you racist. What makes you racist is the fact that you hate brown people.
You say racist shit.
That's what makes you
look,
racist.
Chelsea fans, they don't know what to talk about, bro. I mean, I know I've told you all this. When I was still at VCU, I was talking to a student that was a Chelsea fan, and he didn't even know where in London his club was located.
Jesus Christ.
He legitimately told me his club was in East London.
I went to.
Wait. Oh, this is your guy at work?
Yeah.
I had even better
No. This was a student that was at VCU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I look at him, I'm
because the answer should be Fulham. Chelsea is the Stamford Bridge is located in Fulham.
Right.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even know that because it was like Fulham's a different team. No, dipshit.
It's an area. It's
I
an
know a
area
guy.
of town.
I know a
It's
guy
like
who
a
became
borough.
a City fan, and he flew over there to watch a game. You want to know where his plane ticket took him?
Luton.
London, because he thought Manchester was part of London.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
wow.
That's serious.
Wait, did
Yes.
he go? But did he go to London Airport, or did
I
he
don't know
go
what
to
fucking
Heathrow?
I don't know what
Okay.
airport he flew to, but the point is, he went to
One
London.
of them's a couple miles closer
Yes.
to Manchester.
Because he also could have
Yeah.
landed in Liverpool and gotten a train.
Yeah.
The point is, he went to London thinking he was going to watch a Man City game and had no idea what was going on. He just didn't watch any soccer.
That
when he
sounds
was
like
over
something out of my new favorite subreddit. It's called
Yeah.
R Circle Jerk. Oh, soccer Circle Jerk.
soccer.
there.
So-
Yeah, it was bad.
Holy shit.
It's like, but like I feel like
How
there's
do you
nothing-
not know Manchester's its own city with
Because-
Manchester United being so famous?
Because here's the thing, like that is like that is the entirely all-encompassing picture of the American City fan. They
Yeah.
have no idea what the fuck is going on over there, but they win, so they go, "Oh, I'll be a City fan."
Yeah, I'll be
I
a
want to
City
go watch
fan.
a City game. It's like, well, no, you're not,
'Cause
because
if
you're
you've-
300 miles away.
If
you
you've watched
fucking idiot.
any sort of derby, like if you watch anything outside of Man City, you would know that. And so Manchester City, Manchester United is called the Manchester Derby. They don't really name it. They don't really name it that unless you have like your own like we play in the North London Derby. That's part of London. It's
Right.
just north of
Right.
London.
Right.
But the Manchester United Liverpool Derby is often referred to as the Northwest Derby.
Yeah.
So if you had watched any game, the four of us have been watching this game for a long time. We've been watching this league for a long time. So we know that, and so it seems so stupid to us. That
Like, it's
somebody
right.
would
It would be
not know
one
that.
thing. It would be one
And that's,
thing.
we would
if
be
you-
right. It is stupid.
You know, if you didn't know where Watford was, or
Sure.
or like Nottingham Forest, like if you couldn't,
Right.
I'm not going to shit on someone for not
But
being
his
able
own
to put a pin
club.
on the map.
But his own
but
club.
Manchester,
He didn't even know his own club was
This
in
man
West
bought a ticket.
London.
well, and it's the third largest city in the fucking country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
West
Come on,
London.
You know, it's a whole thing.
When you play West
large
Ham,
enough to have two big
when you
teams.
play West Ham, it's a West London derby.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned that he didn't know where Chelsea was located, because I was
Yep.
like, you got a derby. He was like, no, it's not. And I was like, West Ham. He was like, yeah, we're in East London. I was like, no, you're not.
Jesus
As
Christ.
a matter of fact, West Ham is in East London.
Yeah. It's a whole ass thing.
Yeah, it is a whole ass.
So the last kind of thing
I just
that
wanted
I
to
had
go
circled,
cardinal directions.
Sure. The last thing I kind of had circled was Aubameyang. You know,
Aubameyang did fucking nothing. Aubameyang did fucking nothing. Aubameyang did fucking nothing.
and he was just,
Nothing.
you know,
And
it's
he's
one of
got an Arsenal tattoo.
and it was just one of those things. Like, you know, there was no he
Why was he?
was-
I
he was just-
don't generally think about Aubameyang, but why is he mentioning Arsenal in
right.
this promo material?
That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like just move on. You know,
He
But, like,
got
Chelsea probably
locked, he got pocketed.
into it.
And
City
Chelsea
boy!
probably told him to. However,
City boy!
it's a testament.
City boy!
It's a testament to him that a game like today, where he should be fired up, your former employer, where you agreed to terminate your contract,
And he did nothing.
and couldn't leave fast enough to go to Barcelona for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Fucking-
fuck all in the game.
Fucking probably didn't even put any furniture in his goddamn apartment.
Yeah.
He was there. Now he's in West
Probably
London.
stayed at a hotel the whole time he was there.
Yeah, and then he comes and then like this whole like nothing personal. I would be ready. I am blue, motherfucker. You are not ready.
Well, like the video when he signed with Chelsea, when he's like, "Oh yeah, you know."
You
Go
cannot.
Blues,
no
you know?
one.
Like,
no,
like, it was like someone's holding a gun to his head.
No,
Yeah,
no
that-
matter
it
what
was
you
bad.
know,
It
it's like that
It was like a
Simpsons.
hostage negotiation video.
Remember
you know?
what the
he's
Simpsons
not happy,
where,
bro. I'm telling you, he's not happy.
Mr. Burns is
You-
trying to
you
woo
can't
Marge
convince me
Simpson,
otherwise.
Right,
and
right.
then Smithers got the gun to Tom Jones's back. It's like that's
Yeah.
right. Smile, make nice for the camera.
Yeah,
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no passion in it. You know,
Send help, love.
And it's just it's just like, man, just at this point,
With
like,
Aubameyang, where's
don't
he
make
going to be in a
thing of it.
year? Where's he
Right.
going to be in a year? Because Chelsea,
Fucking Galatasaray.
with Chelsea now, as which arguably like this should be okay. There's already Ted Lasso. There should be a series where an American owner. And fuck it, there shouldn't be a series because this exists in real life. I hope this is all being documented. Like people like Todd Bowley probably go like, okay, what part of London is Manchester in?
Yeah.
Where is Aubameyang going to be in a year? Newcastle aren't going to be stupid enough to get him.
No, Newcastle is on the rise.
Yeah.
They don't need that.
And in fact, I mean, I don't want to turn
Bruno
this.
Guimaraes was voted as like the best player outside the Big Six.
Yeah. In fact, I've seen a couple of the talk shows.
Mitrovic might like a word too.
Well, I mean that was the poll.
Okay.
Yeah. There's already talk out there of extending the name now because it was Big Four.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Big 10 before it's all.
Well,
because now they want to call it the Big
was Big
7.
Four,
And then
Big
Northwest
Six.
want to call it
like,
Big
hey,
7.
where are we?
Yeah.
Which goes back
it
into
was,
like
it was City hopped in.
It made that a thing.
and
then
Tottenham
Spurs.
hopped in.
Which
yeah.
why is Tottenham there? Because aren't you supposed to have trophies?
Yeah, you got to win
Yeah.
something to be.
Aren't
big.
you supposed to have trophies?
They do have a trophy. It's called finishing above Arsenal. That's their trophy. That's their league every year.
Or they have, I think they have an Audi Cup or something like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which
that's
like
right, yeah.
so you spent six
But no,
figures
I mean,
for
Chelsea-
a Volkswagen.
Chelsea, they're sitting 7th. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
which Liverpool's 10th. So whatever. But you're right. I mean, like the thing with Aubameyang is it's the same thing that happened at Dortmund. It's the same thing that happened with us. He's got a shelf life anywhere.
Yeah.
And
He
it's gonna
outstays his
expire.
welcome.
It's gonna expire faster if they're not playing well.
Yeah, he's probably, if I had to guess, I think he's probably going to wind up back in France. I honestly do.
I suppose he'd probably be happiest there. You know.
Do you think Aubameyang is still with Chelsea after this year?
No.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so either.
As impulsive as they are.
They're going to get a real solution. I think this was almost always meant to be a temporary solution.
Stopgap, yeah.
For Chelsea. And you know who they're going to get? Who were we talking about earlier?
Victor Osimhen.
Yeah. No. Who were we talking about earlier? Oh, Mitrovic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Mitrovic go
that's
to
what
a
you
place
said.
like
What's
Chelsea.
the action on that one? Yeah, because Mitrovic will not stay at Fulham. He's going
got a
somewhere.
song.
Like I say, Joey is like.
What are you?
I don't know what the fuck's going on with his laptop here.
I don't know.
He's making love to it. You know, you can hear it easier if you take your fucking headphones off.
Oh, yeah. It's the Liquidator
Also,
by
no.
Hair.
It's the liquid, yeah.
Arsenal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For those of us that don't know it,
It's
it's
Troops and Robbie the car. It's not enough, Robbie.
Harry
Today
J
it
and the
wasn't enough,
Liquidators,
You know-
or Harry J and the All Stars, the Liquidator, old school reggae, and Chelsea plays that before the match, and then
They say Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then whenever we beat them, we
Arsenal.
always do the.
Well,
Arsenal.
you want to know what I enjoyed is I never heard from the fans doing the Chelsea.
Chelsea. It was all us. It was
Yeah.
all us today. 'Cause
Racist.
Yeah.
you know what song I heard, Ryan?
Yeah, we heard the Sleepy song.
Yeah,
we heard it. No, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I downloaded the sheet music, but we're all too far behind to make a video of it. It's too late. The moment has passed. I'll tell you
Saliba.
Fuck your life. Bing bang.
Bing bang.
Yeah.
Suck my dick, Auba.
Well, Ryan, you've said it all. That's how Howard Stern ends all his interviews. Well, Ryan, you've said it all.
And here we are. Yeah.
We've talked Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Which
mentioned
also,
Arsenal here and
Joe
there.
Willock did just score for Newcastle a few
Did
minutes
he?
ago, so it's 3-0.
Oh, let's go. Here's a fun stat. I feel it is an Arsenal podcast, so Tottenham often catch strays.
Always.
But
Who's a Tottenham cunt that tore off my sticker?
Yeah, right. After Gareth Bale left Tottenham, he won at least one trophy
Oh,
every
last night?
season.
Yep.
Every
Yes, I've
season
seen this.
until the season he went back to Tottenham
Yep.
on loan. and then he moved from Tottenham to LAFC, and they just won the
Yep.
MLS. So
Yeah.
he continued winning trophies everywhere except Tottenham. Or
Which,
every
by the way,
season
if
except
anyone
Tottenham season.
didn't
Tottenham
watch that
get battered
game,
everywhere they
I
go.
did. I heard it was a great game.
it was insane.
I heard it was a great game.
It was 2-2
Get battered
in
everywhere
extra
they
time,
go.
and then you have the LAFC keeper come out, get a straight red for breaking up a goal scoring opportunity, breaking his own
Breaking
leg
his own
in
leg,
the process.
Oh, no.
That's
So
wild
then he's got to
shit.
go
That's
off.
wild.
So now they're down a man, and so then you have Philadelphia score the latest goal in MLS Cup history in 124. And they go ahead, and everyone thinks the game's over. And then Gareth Bale comes back in the 128th or 9th minute.
You were loving that song. Whatever you.
Oh, it's
I
Benny
was-
and the Jets.
No, I was chanting Tottenham get battered.
Oh, yeah. No, he was,
Yeah.
that's what he's doing.
Oh, I was like, man, he is feeling that song. What is he listening
I
to?
am feeling
that song. Oh,
like
speaking
that
of
game- so
my
then-
guy I talked about earlier, Antonio. he's
You've got
on goal.
128, 29th minute equalizer, and then it goes to penalties, and then Philadelphia does not land a
Oh,
single
so
penalty.
bad.
They lost
They were
3-0
so
on
bad.
Oh,
penalties.
really?
3-0 on penalties.
LAFC is where Carlos Vela plays, right?
Yes,
Yes.
and that's the crazy thing is so like near the end of the first half of extra time they subbed off Vela for
For Bale.
Bale.
Oh,
and it was
and
like
Bale scored the equalizer
and the
to
whole
take
thing
it
was
to
like,
penalty.
wow, imagine doing that.
Thank you for
know?
saying that because I was about to say I got a little bit of love for LAFC for having Vela, but no, Bale came on for Vela because now all those fucking guys are gonna be like, well, you had to sub off the Arsenal player and bring on, yeah.
I mean, no, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think that's the thing. I think people like discount the. I almost said the MLS. God damn it, they discount MLS, and it's one of those things. Like, is
Richard Keys yet again?
Is it on the level of the Premier League? No, but that shit is fun as hell.
Right.
And if you're not watching
Talk
because
shit
you think,
about
they're lower
That's
level,
his
well, you're
job.
missing out.
And I'm a fan of the sport. Like this, so I was hanging out with somebody last night. I won't mention his team, but he's like, if my team isn't playing, I generally tend not to watch. And I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I watch the sport. I love the sport. And as time has gone on, I watch less of American stuff, and I have less. This guy's got is that a Liverpool Thiago? That's a Liverpool Thiago.
Every field has different technical
All right,
area.
a Liverpool fan just
dimensions.
walked in. Everybody make sure your
Like,
car
that's
doors are
why
locked.
it's not enforced. As long as you're
see.
not egregious, that's why
Right.
it's not enforced because every field
Well,
has
we know he
different
won't be
technical
robbing anybody's
dimensions.
house.
Here's what Richard Keith says about this game because we
Oh, God.
know he can't say anything positive about Arsenal, right? So he says, "Why is this allowed every week? Arteta has been jumping up and down all game, way outside his technical area. Potter is in
Is he
his,
still on
and
that
Ford
shit?
is
Yes.
watching. Do something about this, man." And then he says, "There's what 500 to 600 million pounds of talents out there, and so far we've only had one shot on target." After
he's
83
really
minutes,
out
Chelsea
here-
one shot on target. Last attempt was 30 minutes ago. Arsenal 2 attempts on target. Double shoulder shrug emoji.
This might be a foul.
Bro, can you just say, "Hey, Arsenal, you won the game"?
Yeah.
Right.
You beat a rival club.
Honestly, like this
You know
whole
what
shit
that-
about like someone's gonna get injured. Like, man, fuck you. They have spatial awareness.
And I'm not going to say it's there, but here's how people are going to see it. They're going to see it as Graham Potter is being polite, British, and as you do.
And Arteta is
And
the
Arteta
disrespectful Spaniard.
Yes, and that is, I mean,
Hey, Brexit means Brexit.
I mean,
Yeah.
but the thing that's
say
what I was saying to
the,
him.
The new
is,
prime minister. I mean, I saw a lot of tweets. People were like, "Well, why didn't they vote for someone?"
they're going to get a
English?
pen. West Ham's about
And
to
I'm
get a pen.
going, he is English.
Yeah.
You need to understand that you don't have to be white and a last name like Jones to be English.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like you can be German. Your last name can be what's that kid that plays for Bayern, Musiala,
Oh,
who's like
yeah.
good enough to play for multiple countries, multiple clubs. If he's at Bayern in 2 years, I'd be shocked. He's
There's a
going-
reason some of the best Indian food in the world is in England.
Yeah.
They're there.
So anyway, this idea of like Arteta. I mean, you're really reaching to criticize someone about he's not in his technical area. It's fucking Ferguson did that shit all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, look at Klopp.
Exactly.
I mean,
Well, the other thing too.
And I'm sure he said
Keys-
shit about Klopp as well.
Richard,
probably.
Key,
Biggest
Richard
point.
Key's Arsenal analysis is about as useful as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking competition.
penalty.
They
Oh
won
no,
the
penalty.
No,
Nice.
they win the-
Wow,
Hey,
really?
that's
No
that's
penalty?
one of the first times I've seen them go to the actual screen
and say no.
and then say no. So
is that Kevin Friend? Is he
so
bald now?
so here's my point that
Well,
I was
someone had to
making
take up after
though,
Mike
when-
Dean retired.
Yeah, fair enough.
is every stadium has different technical area dimensions and locations.
Right.
So like him bitching and complaining about he's never in the technical area and why isn't this being enforced? Because everything's different.
Well, and also 'cause it
every
doesn't-
area is different in every game.
Also,
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
Like what?
Exactly.
As
What
long
is he
as,
doing?
as long as he's not running onto the pitch,
Exactly.
As long as he's not getting in the way of the AR, right? Then what's
Who
the
cares?
who fucking cares?
Right. You're really to voice displeasure at that.
He's not splitting hairs. He's splitting split hairs.
It's kind of like when people would go meet the Queen or meet royalty, and then like newspapers and they were like, "Oh no, she wore purple," and if you wear purple, and I'm like, so that's how it's gonna be, like there was something with the funeral or something, like somebody didn't wear their they it's like
Someone wore an exciter when they shouldn't have, or whatever the
everything.
fuck it was.
Bless you, everything like.
Or a fascinator, rather. I'm sorry.
I have a relative
Bless you.
that is upset at like everything bothers her. So like you just have
Yeah.
to prepare yourself for that. And so somebody like Richard Keys be like, Arteta did that. And I'm going like, just say what you want to say. This swarthy Spaniard, fucking, coming in our country, fuck off. This is fish and chips and
Fuck off.
yeah.
well,
yeah.
you know what England can gain from him is whatever the fuck he puts in his hair, because it was fucking pouring buckets.
That's the point I was making.
And ain't nothing moving.
It didn't even look like it was
Whatever
wet.
product he has in his hair, you can wax your car with it.
You
man.
wax your car, you can pave a fucking road.
It'll keep the bullets off your back.
Yeah,
man.
it's Kevlar. You can cook with it. I mean, like he's
Put
got
that
some
on the
shit.
underside of the space shuttle when it re-enters the atmosphere.
It's Paul Tierney. He cut his hair.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Tierney took up for Mike Dean in his absence.
Yeah.
As a white man who's lost most of his hair, don't ever go all the way down the skin. You look like a penis.
No. And don't do it when you have a full head of hair.
Yeah, when you can do it.
Yeah.
Leave
no.
it like I like to go for the Zidane look minus the beard part because otherwise I don't know. I just don't like facial hair, but. When a white dude shaves his head like, I mean, if I shaved my head like that, I already get called a Nazi. Like now, like they're really gonna.
I've got a bumpy head. I can't.
Oh,
do
but
it.
you're also German, so I feel like people sort of
They're gonna read in.
They sort of
things.
they sort of lean
Man,
into that.
I saw dudes
If you know Tom, that's like the farthest thing from what he is. But yeah.
So this is an extremist side, but man, I started shopping at the Mechanicsville Kroger, it's closer to my house.
Oh no!
And I saw these dudes in these Deutschland shirts, and I'm like, look, I own Deutschland shirts, but they're fucking football shirts. Those dudes have them for a different reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh!
There's a dude that parked at my work.
Hey, all I gotta say is it is Hanover.
Yeah,
It is Hanover.
No, it is.
Clanover.
Yeah. Well, that
There's a dude at my job that
Ashland, center of the universe.
He had a sticker on one
That's their
side
slogan.
of his pickup. It was a blue live, whatever, like the
Blue
American
Lives,
flag,
yeah.
and then the other side was a German
blue line.
a German
Or like
naval
anus
flag.
of the universe.
It was a German.
All white.
It was a German naval flag from 1918 to 1935.
Jesus.
Yeah, Kriegsmarine, and it's like, okay, while technically not a Nazi flag, but
Like,
we know what you're saying.
It's on
We know what
You're
you're
saying
saying.
the quiet part out loud at that point.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is devolved. So I feel like we're getting out of this situation.
Bing bang.
Bing bong. But anyway, we got 2 games left before the World Cup break, so we're gonna try to keep at it. We got Brighton at home in the League Cup. I feel like that normally would have started by now, but it hasn't. And then Saturday we got a game at Molineux against Wolves. So the whole question is, do we finish before the World Cup top of the league? I think we do.
We are top of the league. Says we are top of the league.
Hey.
We are top of the league. So we are top of the league.
But until then, we will catch you after that game on next Saturday. Hopefully it's late start. Come on out. I am Ryan here with Tom.
I said later, man.
And with Joey.
City boy.
And with Will.
Yeah, Gunners, yeah.
And have a good one, everybody.